Oh, what is going on, y'all? Just pulled into the New Britain, Connecticut warehouse, and honestly, I wish I hadn't. I am not loving the setup of the parking lot and entryway. Y'all already know if I don't love it, it means there is one way in or out of here, and it's really one of the worst setups I've ever seen. I'm not sure if you can see it behind me. It's this like brick structure that you can kind of see some cars driving on in the background. To get to it, you've got to turn off a really busy road, and it dumps you out like in the very front of the warehouse. Most parking lots you enter like from the back and you work your way to the front if you're gonna be that bold, but here you start in the front in the most crowded spot, and then you got to trickle your way into the back. Also, the gas station is in the back, so you got to work through the entire parking lot to get to that gas station. Aside from the location, looks okay. Got 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14, 16 pumps here, very wide, just unfortunately really hard to get to. Parking spaces are double lined, so at least we're working with that. Not loving the location of the tire center. Again, it's in a really crowded spot. I think there's a liquor store here, but I'm gonna check it out. I just can't see it from where I am. I've been here for like 30 seconds. I already saw a road rage incident in the parking lot, but don't worry. Turns out they were nihilists. Nothing to be afraid of. One thing I do want to check out before I get inside is the little traffic light that you got to wait at to get out of here. I mean, if there's a serious buildup of cars like that, you can, I don't know if you can see it behind me, you're stuck at one light. And if that's going to stay red for a long time and green for a short amount of time, this could really suck. So I want to check out all the things outside here before I get inside. But New Britain, Connecticut, coming at you. And here's that little intersection with the traffic light. At least there's a lane to turn left and right. And this is a better view of the main road the warehouse is on. That big line of cars you see is all waiting to turn left into Costco. And here's a shot of all the cars waiting at that little traffic light trying to get out of here. Guys, I am here at 10 a.m. It's already this many people trying to get out. It's gonna get a lot worse throughout the day. All right, guys, I'm back in the parking lot. I'm gonna get to a spot where I can see the little traffic light and just get the stopwatch out and time it how long it stays green for. I counted 8 seconds on the green light. I'm gonna do 3 cycles, see what I get. 8 seconds on the first one. Second one, I got 9 seconds. And I got 9 seconds again on the third. No wonder this is already backed up. Here's a good view of the gas station. You can see it's got the 16 pumps, and at face value, it actually looks pretty good. It's wide, there's plenty of lanes. The lines weren't anything crazy, but like I was saying, it's tucked all the way into the back of this parking lot here. There's no separate access point, so you've got to weave through all that craziness up front in order to get here. So I'm going to start walking up all the way from the back of the parking lot. Gas station is directly to my left. And one thing I'm noticing is this parking lot is actually really small. There's not too many of these rows of spaces that go all the way back. I mean, there's a few, but with more space, it might not feel this crazy. Unfortunately, this is all they got here. And these carts here feel like both a rite of passage and writing on the wall, like walking through a turnstile at a baseball game. Gotta weave through carts before you can come deal with this craziness. Now for the tire center, again, it seems like somebody tried to find the worst possible place for it. Usually tire centers are off to the side of the warehouse, kind of in the back. This one is right by the front door, meaning it's on the main road, probably the busiest road where people are looking for spots, and then cars are going to be backing out, shuffling in and out of those tire center bays. It's, I don't even want to think about it. Entryway had a very plain beige look to it, looks a little bit older. Liquor store is going to be off to the left-hand side. Alright, it's finally time to get in here. I have a running theory about lefty layouts that more people walk up these side walls and go into the electronics sections than they do in righty warehouses, and that leads to slightly cleaner initial approaches, but one day I'm going to get some data to test that. However, that did seem to be holding true for my initial approach in New Britain. Based on what I experienced outside, I fully expected giant mobs of people to be stopped in the entryway trying to put their membership cards back in their pocket. So my expectations were not very high at all, but this exceeded them because it wasn't really that bad. But as anticipated, the secondary approach comes with a noticeable increase in crowds. Directly ahead of me, I can see heavy crowds forming on that back wall. But before I get there, I'm going to take a left, go into this produce section, and I am happy to see that all the produce does seem to be in this section. I'm going to look for overflows later, but I don't anticipate seeing it since I do see the refrigerated produce section back here as well. I'm like, at least this area is reasonable, but I am doing some weaving around some decent crowds. When it does come time to brave the back wall, unfortunately, I am running into heavy crowds. I'm just gonna do everything I can to get myself some breathing room here. But since I have made it to the back wall, it is time for our chicken check-in. All right, y'all, coming at you from the epicenter. It's still like, it's a crowded Costco. It's pretty crowded here. Back in the rotisserie section, a lot of people leaving their carts, a lot of people going to get samples, crowded walkways. So I was, based on the parking lot, I was expecting like complete lawlessness, but it's not complete lawlessness. It's just like regular, it's packed Costco lawlessness. Y'all, it's actually pretty hard to move around back here. Some people are kind of stuck. Some people are waiting to like get into this section, following traffic laws, yield right of way. Heavy crowds in this area. But one thing I did notice is the refrigerated dairy section was not on the back wall where I was expecting to see it. It was actually in the way back. Why that's surprising to me is that's a sign of a newer warehouse, and everything about this place screamed old. From the one way to get in and out, from the location of the tire center, from the look and size of the entryway, I thought this place was older. If it is indeed a newer warehouse, that's actually a little embarrassing. All right, far wall check. Not too bad on the far wall. Never usually is. It does feel a little bit bigger. Yeah, not too bad back here. Guys, this warehouse was opened in 2014. 2014. It's only 10 years old. I was about to guess the 90s when I walked up here. Some of these decisions, really curious here. 2014 is recent enough to know better. Did not love seeing those watermelons in the middle, by the way. Y'all know how I feel about that. If they need to be there, gotta take something else out. Anyway, 2014. Gonna take a few minutes and explore the middle of the store, kind of take my mind off that 2014 thing. Are you kidding me with that? Anyway, I'm gonna search through the clothes, take a little breather, and I'll get back to you guys. Empty shelves. A little picked over. Just saw refrigerated pet food. If you live in the area, congratulations. The value of your home is skyrocketing. Pharmacy, hearing, and optical center all nicely grouped together. I like when they're in one spot. They're off to the left of the checkout area over in the corner. Good spot. Nice that there's consistently nobody here. All right, guys, they are doing something right here, and it has to do with the checkout area. There's a lot of people. You guys have seen the heavy crowds that I've dealt with all day, but there are a lot of conveyor belts open, a lot of employees working the traditional checkout stations. Most warehouses I go to, they've got in the like 4 to 6 range of conveyor belts open. This one has at least 10, and thank goodness. That is such a relief. These lines could have easily overflowed well into the back of the warehouse. If I saw that, I would have just dropped my cart and gone. I'm very glad they're doing that. Big relief. Don't go to self-checkout if you see that. Get in a typical line and you'll be out of there a little quicker. Gotta give credit where credit is due. Checkout is smooth. You would have, like, that is the last thing I would have guessed about this warehouse, is the checkout being smooth, but it is not bad. Typical food court offerings here, nothing special, and it is pushed far enough away from the checkout area to minimize the congestion. The brief reprieve of checkout came to a very abrupt end as soon as it came time to get out of here. Not surprised there are a lot of people waiting at the tire center. I cannot imagine the headache that it must be for those employees to shuffle cars in and out of those bays and deal with the most crowded points in the parking lot. Again, how could that happen for a design in 2014? Anyway, a little bit of a line to get the receipt checked, but I cannot wait to get out of this place. Guys, I did find a pro tip for you with the parking lot. When you're coming down that one-lane road, go all the way to the front of the warehouse, but don't turn to go toward the front door. Come all the way, follow what I'm doing here, go all the way around the back. It's gonna look like you're going into the shipping and receiving zone. Don't worry, it's totally legit. Come all the way around the back of the warehouse, park somewhere here, and also you can see that it will set you up on a straightaway to get into the gas station. Much more efficient. Definitely do this. All right, y'all, just got back from New Britain, and I really hope that is the last time I ever say that. That one-way in or out was really inexcusable. The traffic light you saw, it stayed green for less than 10 seconds for 3 straight cycles. There were already a line of cars trying to get out, at 10 a.m. Can you imagine what it's going to be like at 2 on a Saturday? It's going to be absolutely nuts. Gas station and tire center, it seems like somebody tried to find the worst possible locations for it. Gas station, you got to go all the way to the front and work yourself all the way to the back. Please use that pro tip that I showed you if you are going to go there. Tire center, I really don't know what they were thinking. The outside of that place was like a complete mess. When I got inside the warehouse, it didn't get much better. The initial approach was fine, but you saw there were such heavy crowds all the way through. I am going to be fair though, that checkout was nice. It was so nice to see a place that was properly staffed in the checkout area. Big time pleasant surprise. But honestly, guys, like there's just no reason to go to the New Britain warehouse, and I say that because it's so close to the South Windsor warehouse, and that place is awesome. It's only 20 minutes away. Like the marginal benefit of the experience of South Windsor to New Britain is so much greater than the marginal cost of the 20-minute drive. Anyway, let's get to today's one item. I did find something when I was chilling in the clothes section. I found these shorts. They are the Kirkland Men's Lounge Short. And I heard these are really nice, by the way. I heard a rumor on the internet, so completely unconfirmed, that these are actually made by like some fancy company called, I don't know how to pronounce it, Voyuri, a lot of vowels in that word. Obviously, I'm not familiar with the brand, but apparently it's really nice, and these might be made by them. They feel really good. So let me know in the comments if you've tried Viore, I think that's how you say it, and also these Kirkland Men's Lounge shorts. And let me know if they're comparable, if there's any noticeable differences. If there's not, this is a serious score on consumer surplus from Costco yet again. Guys, thank you so much for watching. Really appreciate it. Promise me you'll stay away from New Britain, and I will catch you on the next one. If you guys like this content, please remember to like and subscribe to the channel, and let me know in the comments section, what did you think of the New Britain warehouse, and is there somewhere that you would like to see me go next?